I'm Gary Bendis. I'm your lead queuer. The way we're going to do this flow of the robots, we'll be coming in this door. You can see the red robots here. We'll be staging the second, the one on deck out in the hallway, the red robots. Blue will be coming down behind the scoring table here and staging down here. If you come early, we will be staging you in the hallway till we need you. All robots will be coming in on this side and going out on that side. You'll see white boxes on each end where your carts will store once you get done, okay? If your robot's on this end and your cart's over there, have your person, your teammate, bring it to the spot where you need to unload, okay?
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Rob Jenkins. I'll be your FTA at this event. That's your first technical advisor, basically tech support for the field. So our job is to make sure you guys are able to come out every match, play, have a good time, compete as hard as you can, et cetera, so on and so forth. So what you guys can do to help me with that is when you bring your robots out on the field, first thing you want to do is power them on. You know, the radios do take about a minute to power up. So the sooner you guys are doing that, the sooner we're finding our problems. If you don't know how to turn it on, don't be the person in that role. You know, we do get people that don't know how to turn these on once in a while, so that's fine. But don't be the guy sent out to turn it on if you're not sure how to do that. Check your batteries, your connections, your Ethernet cord should be plugged into your C-RIO. Driver stations, load up as soon as you can. There is power at the driver stations for your laptops up on the top of the shelf. So if your batteries are low, you can plug in this year. It is on a circuit breaker, so no problems there. You need to plug your Ethernet cable in on the driver station to your computer because we can't connect to anything until we talk to your driver station. So the faster you're doing all this, the more time we have for the real problems. You know, something weird's going on with your robot, we can't connect. If we're wasting time on the silly stuff, that's less time we have to do with the real issues. So our goal is to have everyone come out quickly, connect. We want you to play every match. That's our goal. And if you have issues during the match, if your robot loses communication, we will be out there either during the match or if we don't want to interrupt you, we'll talk to you after the match and try and give you a quick diagnosis on what's going on and then either see if you need a CSA if it's controls or a robot inspector if it's mechanical. If you guys are having problems, we can't leave the field, but we will get help to go with you to make sure your problems are resolved. Again, we want to make sure you're out, you're competing, everything's going well. That being said, if your robot dies during a match, that is not grounds for a replay. If we think there is something wrong with the field and in 3 weeks we haven't seen any field-related communication issues, we'll let you know. But your battery turning off or your C-RIO coming unplugged or an Ethernet cable coming out, it is not a field issue, it's a robot issue. It happened on the field, but it's a robot issue. So again, we'll help you solve the problems, but those are not going to be replays. That is something came loose that shouldn't on the robot. With your driver stations, we have had some people hit the glass pretty hard in autonomous, either intentionally or because the program didn't quite work out the way it is. You're behind that white line, but you are well within your rights to cross the line, reach over, touch your controls if they're going to fall off the driver station. There's Velcro up there for a reason. With those impacts, I've seen entire driver stations fall on the floor. So we want to make everyone aware you are legally allowed to touch your controls to keep them from falling on the ground. We don't want to see that stuff spill because then you're disconnected, you're having issues. So again, be watching that and be ready to stop that from happening. Also, if you lose your joysticks during a match, for whatever reason, it's not well documented, the F1 key will go and find everything that's plugged into USB ports and re-enumerate them with your driver station. So if this light, the blue flashing lights or the red ones you see is solid, you're connected to the field and everything's okay there, but your robot's not moving, hit F1. We will do that if we see an issue, but it takes us a few minutes to get over to where you're trying to go. So if you see issues with that, F1 does solve a lot of joystick problems. See if there's anything else important and or interesting here. Your radio should be in bridge mode. Yeah, at the schools, you're using AP mode, but here to connect to the field, it needs to be in bridge, which means you'll see the 2 lights lit up on the radio. If that's not the case, we'll switch it over. It'll take about a minute. So it's not like we're going to play without you, but again, you'll save some time if you're checking that when you're on the field. It should stay in bridge the entire event. When you guys go back to your schools, your shops, wherever you're going, you'll want to set it back to AP mode, but for the event, it's bridge mode only. If you are having issues on the field, repeated problems, we will try and make time either during lunch or at the end of the day. If a CSA can't work through what's going on, we can simulate some stuff on the field. We will not be running practice matches on the field. We'll have you off to the side, and we'll talk to you if that's going to be an option, because that's kind of a severe case. You've been out 6 matches. You've never moved. We're trying to solve problems. So we will. Again, we're going to work and do everything we can to have you guys be successful. If you go home saying, my robot did the best it could, it ran every match, we did what we could, and we had a good time, then we are winning on our side. So that's our goal. Wi-Fi should not be turned on, either pits, stands, on your laptop. We want to keep all that stuff under control because we don't want any interference issues. Especially on your driver stations, that can cause a lot of problems because it'll try to connect to your robot while we are. So make sure your Wi-Fi is shut off. And one of the additions, I think 2 weeks ago, is they added plastic up above the high goals. So right there, there's 6 plastic panels on either side of the field. That's to keep the balls from bouncing back onto the field when they're scored. What you can do to help us is watch your heads. When you're driving, if the balls are coming through, there's not a whole lot of shelf space. So if you're standing back watching how your team's doing, be aware that people are shooting in a direction that could hit you. So field reset will be behind you. Just keep an eye out. We will try to work and move in seamlessly around you. We don't want to interrupt you while we're collecting playing pieces off the field or whatever, but watch your own safety. And then also the truss is at 5 feet, so if you're taller than that, watch your heads. We don't want people crossing any more than they need to, but I have it on good authority that hurts. So watch yourselves. Other than that, I think that's kind of it. If you... I didn't plan that. All right, so we're not done. But I think that is his cue for me to stop talking and let things move on. So unless anyone has any questions from the field side of things. All right, if you have questions that come up, let us know. I'm not going to win. All right, so again, Chris and I will be the guys running the field from a robot side. If you have any questions during the day, please let us know. We'll do everything we can.
Hello again. Just going to go over a few things real quick. One thing I really would like to remind all teams is that everyone you see here in the white shirts that are working all back here, everyone here are volunteers, okay? They're all volunteering their time to put this event on for your benefit. So in that case, I would really ask for everyone to be as civil as possible towards all of our volunteers. Remember the motto of FIRST, gracious professionalism. Let's display that at all times and at all areas throughout the competition, okay? Because we're here to make this as fun as we can for all teams that are participating in this event, okay? Couple housekeeping rules. Number one, these bleachers that are stationed behind the scoring table, there's no sitting on those bleachers at all, okay? Those bleachers are actually closed. No sitting back there whatsoever. If you sit on them, there's a high possibility they're going to break because they're not out fully supported, okay? So there's no sitting back there. Number two, for your drive teams are allowed to have 2 drivers, 1 coach, and a human player. Your coach is identified by the yellow dot that's on your team buttons. And also, I want to ask that for all drive teams, please wear your buttons high on your body, okay? That makes it easier for the referees, for the cuers, field reset, for everyone to identify who you are, okay? Buttons that are placed down low, it's hard for us to see and identify. If you have a jacket on, please wear the button on the outside of your jacket or towards the middle of you so that it's visible at all times so that we can see it, okay? That's one quick thing that we really would like to get, because we get kids come out with buttons way down here and we have no idea if they're supposed to be out here or not, okay? So please wear your buttons high up on your shoulder or something like that so that we can see you, all right? One other thing is I want to also remind you guys that penalties and tech fouls this season are pretty steep. Fouls are 20 points. Technical fouls are 50 points. So let's draw a minimal amount as possible. Let's not draw any, please. Let's have some clean play out here today. What's that for? I think. I haven't. All right. Okay. Also, your referees are going to be tracking possessions. So as teams possess the balls as they move down the field, the referees will be inputting those on the tablets. They're also going to be inputting scores in a high goal, low goal. They're going to be tracking your scores for autonomous, whether your goals are hot or not. Your lights are going to light up, and they're going to switch from one side to the other. One side's going to be hot for 5 seconds, and then it's going to switch to the other side for the other 5 seconds for autonomous. Okay? So just so everybody know, these lights that are around the goal are going to give you a lot of information. They're going to let you know what your alliance got credit for a possession. If you got credit for 1 possession, 2 possessions, the lights are going to light up, okay? So if you haven't caught that in the game manual, go back and look at it real quick. That way you'll know how to utilize these lights to your benefit throughout the match, okay? Let's see. One big thing I want to let you guys know is at the end of a match, teams are not allowed to enter the field until all these LEDs, these lights turn green. When these lights turn green, you're allowed to enter the field. If you enter the field prior to that, you guys are not going to have a good time, okay? So only enter the field when these lights on the LEDs turn green. Balls are only allowed to be removed from the pedestal when the pedestal is lit. You must wait until the pedestal lights up before you can remove a ball. Even if you know your ball got scored, don't touch that ball until that light lights up, because you want to allow the referee to get your possessions in, get your score in, get it submitted before that pedestal light up. Once you remove that ball from a pedestal, that's a technical foul. You take that ball and you put it into the gameplay, that's another technical foul, okay? You don't want to be the alliance you want to be the person to cost your alliance 100 points just for taking the ball off the pedestal too soon, okay? In case of a dead ball gets stuck in your robot's not responding on the driver's station. Gary, can you hold that sign up? There's a sign at each driver's station that says dead ball. Take that sign, press it up against the glass, and then tap on the glass to get my attention so I can end your cycle and light your pedestal so you can put another ball in play, okay? So make sure you take that sign and put it on the glass, because we have cases where teams take the sign and just wave it in the air. Well, we can't necessarily see that right away, okay? Take that sign, put it on the glass, and bang on the glass so that we know we can get your cycle reset and you guys can get another ball put in play as soon as possible, okay? And at the same time, if that dead ball becomes loose and gets free of the robot, your alliance must get that dead ball through a goal off the field before that cycle is ended, okay? So if you have your live ball, you bring it down and you score, and then your dead ball gets unlodged and gets free on the field, you must get that dead ball off the field before that cycle is scored, okay? Because we want to minimize the number of balls on the field. We're only supposed to have 1 ball on the field. So that dead ball needs to be removed before your cycle will end and you can put another ball in play, All right, so that's something you guys are gonna have to be, you have to watch and you have to be knowledgeable of and be on top of to get that ball off the field. Okay. Any questions? Anybody have? If you guys have a question during the match, after a match, there's a question box which is right behind here. All questions should be directed to me, the head ref. It's my job to answer your questions, and I will answer questions from any student, non-college student that's on your team. I will not talk to adults. I will not talk to coaches. I will only talk to students, okay? So you students have a question, come on up to the question box, and we can have a conversation, okay? There's no cell phone usage, no Bluetooth, no short-range radios, no communication while you're in a driver's station, okay? Those are not allowed. And just for reference, what the lead robot Spectre was talking about, if you play a match with an uninspected robot, that is a T6. It's in section 5 in the tournament section. It's a T6 violation. It's a red card for your entire alliance, okay? All right, last thing I want to go over is the wonderful update to the rules that was posted yesterday. There was a change to G27, and I will read the rule for you. Strategies aimed at and/or gameplay resulting in damage, destruction of an opponent's robot via actions such as high speed or repeated aggressive ramming, attachment, tipping, or entanglement of robots are not allowed. Violation will be a foul. If we deem it being a strategic action, it will be considered a technical foul with a potential for a yellow card, okay? So the entanglement, previous entanglement G27 has been expanded to include aggressive high-speed ramming, okay? So if we deem that to be aggressive or intentional, it will be called, all right? Question? I couldn't hear you. As long as it stays bumper to bumper, that's within the gameplay. High speed, you're close up, that's not high speed, okay? Right. Now, one thing I would like to say, the name of this game is Aerial Assist. The intentions of this game is for teams to assist each other in moving the ball down the field. Everyone in this room here, as long as you have a driving, rolling robot, you have an opportunity to play offensive in this game, okay? So I would encourage everyone to think strategically on playing offense in this game. Let's have good, fun, clean play. Any other questions? Yes.
Will contact inside the bumper zone or frame perimeter only be called if it is consequential or damaging, as it's written in the rules?
Yes. The question was about G28. Whether or not that was going to be called for consequential contact inside the frame perimeter. Yes, that will be called consequential or damaging. That will be called, yes, and that's how it will be called.
When will the pinning call start? At the beginning of the pin or after the 5 seconds of the pin will count?
Pinning, the question was about pinning and when the count will start. The count will start as soon as the pinning is initiated, okay? And with the pinning, pinning can happen with one robot sandwiched between two robots. That could be considered pinning. But also pinning is between a robot and a field element, sidewall, goal. That is considered pinning as well. Okay? Question? As long as you back up 6 feet, the question is will the count stop if they back up? The pinning count will continue until the pinning robot backs away at least 6 feet from the robot they were trying to pin. Okay, then the count will stop. Okay? Now, in the process of the pinning robot backing away from the pin, if the robot that was being pinned follows them, the count instantly stops. Okay? Okay, because at that point, they're not allowing that robot to get the full 6 feet away, and at that point, you know, the count will stop. Okay? Questions? Questions? None? All right. You have one more thing?
One more thing, I want to get these teams ready at 10:30
Okay.
when opening.
Okay. Let me. All right. Okay. We're gonna do a call out for the first 3 match for the robots that are in the first 3 matches. We're gonna do a call out for those. After that, the driver meeting will be over. But I would like all rookie teams to come out. You want them over here? Come out to the field, right into the red zone right here. All rookie teams, after the announcement is given out to which teams are in which matches, I want all rookie teams to come out to the red zone and stay over here for me, okay? Thank you very much.
Okay, match 1, we want you guys on the field when opening starts at 10:30. Match 1 will have 33, 5156, 4382, 3570, 2145, and 1243. We want you guys on the field at 10:30. Match 2, staging is 5155, 66, 5215, 5251, 5224, 2619. Okay? Good luck.
Guys, let's move in and have a seat. Rookies, move in, away from the doorways here, and just have a seat. We got to get all 20 rookie teams here on the field. Come on in, make room for everybody. Wherever you can, folks.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. We're going to turn around now.
Good morning. My 20 rookie teams I'd like to welcome you to our family called First and First in Michigan. Welcome. You're a part of our family now. You're not in a competition anymore. Put that out of your mind. We are in what we call a cooperation. For all of us to succeed, we got to make sure you succeed. All right? You have a very unique opportunity. Half the field of the 40 robots are rookie teams. You can acquire points and pave your way to Ypsilanti to the state championship right here today. All right? The underdogs, rookies, as you saw what happened to Ohio State yesterday in the NCAA tournament, big dog got knocked off by a little dog. You can do the same thing. All right? What's going to happen over the next 2 days? We're going to play 80 qualifying matches. All right? During that, up on the scoreboard, all right, when you see the team numbers up there, there'll be a little gray box next to them. They'll give the current ranking. All right? When we get done with our 80 qualifying matches, the top 8 teams are going to come out here and start picking alliance partners. But mathematically, if you're in the top 15 teams, you could be an alliance captain. Because if one picks 2, number 9 now becomes number 8. And so on. So 3 picks 4, 9 becomes 7, and 10 becomes 8. All right, so be prepared. Work your list. Try and rank the teams that are around you. If you got a problem, mechanical, electrical, control systems, go to pit administration. There are teams all around you just chomping at the bit to help make you successful. We're going back to the cooperation part. All right? You're not going to be left alone. All right? You're in our family now. Okay? When you come out here for alliance selection process, even if you're standing in the crowd, have your list. As people become parts of alliances, cross them off. So you're not trying to pick somebody that's already on another alliance, all right? Just keep crossing them off as they become members, because they'll be out here, the number 1 alliance, they'll say, who would you like to pick? Well, I want to pick the number 2 captain, the number 2 seed. And then they come over, and the MC will ask them, would you like to join this alliance, or would you like to form your own? Because they can decline them. If they decline them, they can't be picked by another alliance. So if one tries to pick 5, and 5 says, no, I'm going to be my own captain. Then number 1 picks somebody else, then it's number 2's turn to pick. They can't pick number 5. They're locked in. They may move up, but they're not going to join a different alliance. And the only reason, if you're standing down here, not in the top 8, to say no, it's because you're broken. All right? That's the only reason you'd want to say no. Other than that, you want to be out here in the dance, playing in that top 24 teams. And if you're not in those top 24 teams out here, in the first round of the quarterfinals, the next ranked 8 teams can't leave, can't pack up. Because if Alliance 2 has a robot that catches on fire or just falls apart or whatever, is inoperable, the number 1 ranked team of the ones not picked to be in the elimination rounds automatically goes on that team. So I got 8 alliances. I'm going to need the next 8 to stay. Then when we get to the semifinals, the top 4. Then when we get to the finals, the top 2. All right, so as they fall away, you can start packing up. Oh yeah, just because you're not playing out here, you still have a chance to pick up more points. don't go home until after the eliminations, because there's some serious points being awarded to rookies, rookie all-star, all right, and the other technical awards that are out there. They all carry points, all right? It's a matter of points here in Michigan and in the other districts around the world, all right? Do you have any questions? I know I keep running off with the mouth here. Okay. All right. Do not be afraid to ask for help. Okay? We're here to make you successful. Okay? All right, with that, if you're in match 1, 2, or 3, get out here. If you're inspected, I haven't heard that everybody's been inspected yet, but once you're inspected, if you fall on rough times and you got to be working on your robot, send one of your human players or a member of the drive team out here so you report. You fill up one of these human player boxes, to get balls back in. Another thing, the human players that are out in these boxes, robots shooting at you, maintain contact with this box. Catch the ball. I'm still good. I'm not drawing a foul. And then place it back in. All right? Make sure you fill these boxes up. I've seen veteran teams not put anybody out here. So if I'm on the Red Alliance and I don't have a person out here and the ball goes out right here, it goes all the way back to the beginning. It's got to go to the closest human player. That would be back there. If you don't put somebody out here or on that side, it's going to go all the way back to the beginning. Okay? No questions? All right. Come on, let's play aerial assist. Thank you, guys.